Hello everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. How are we doing? Antoine's in the chat. Welcome. Hello, what's up and welcome back. Thank you so much. I feel like I've been away for a long time. I only missed 1 week. I actually thought I was thinking last night, I was like, did I skip 2 weeks? Because I feel like I've been away for a long time. Last week was like the longest of the short weeks, ever. It was craziness. Not really in a bad way, it was just a long week. My goodness gracious. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. We're getting some nicer weather, so I'm getting some more outside minutes, which is nice. And we're getting a few things squared away that way, which is nice. Sorry, I'm just setting up my chats here so I can make sure I can catch everybody in case Restream's not playing that game.
My goodness gracious.
And, yeah. So what is new? What is everyone up to this evening? I am stoked to be here. Like I said, it feels like a long time since I've been here with you guys. And I'm glad to be here now. There we go. I don't know. What about you, Proxy? What about you, Antoine? Hey, Antoine, what's up with you? How about Proxy? What's up with you? Huh? What's new? Good. And you? Good. And you? Okay. So we are here with what I'm hoping we can get a lot done today on this, because this is the last page of our plants that we were working on. So 2 weeks ago, did I do plants 2 weeks ago? I haven't done tarot in a while. Huh. Oh dear, the iPad lags. Okay, it's still, I keep trying to fix things so that it doesn't do that laggy thing, but it's lagging on the stream, so sorry. So this is the last piece. So there's 5 panels to this piece, and there's only 4 letters in our lovely lady's name. So we have an extra one. So I'm gonna put just some other big plants that I didn't get on the other panels, and then hopefully we'll be able to get this. And here's the plants at the top. Be a bit of a delay. I don't know why it's like that. I'll play with my OBS on the weekend and see if I can't fix that. Sorry, guys. But it's just delayed. You're still seeing what I'm seeing. It's just, I'll try and not talk about it as immediately. I'll let the delay happen. So the plants on the top here, those are just kind of screenshots of what we mostly have on the finals. Not the one in the bottom left there. We updated it a couple weeks ago. But they're here more for color palettes and color references for me. And also, if you see here, when I put that graphic in there, it created a beautiful palette for me. So we're going to use that today to get these colors laid out. The reason why I opted to do this last one fully digital is because it's a larger piece. Each of these plants was done on that small watercolor paper that we did about a month or so ago. They were done smaller because they're not they're just tiny on the piece as opposed to being large like this one. So rather than getting all my watercolors out for a larger piece and not have it take a long time to dry and all that kind of stuff, I figured I'd try and use the fresco tools here and see if we can't make things a little cohesive. We'll see how they go. Oh my goodness, Mafu's here. Good morning, Mafu. How is everything going? How is the tech in business? Okay. So what we're going to do here, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get our watercolor brushes. Dun, 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 dun. Watercolor brushes. And we're going to see if we can't try and imitate the style that we have on these pieces up here to make things a little coherent and working together. That is a very large, a little bigger here. So one here is going to be our spider plant. Excuse me. And then we have a little snake plant and a little cactus. It's going to be really good business here. And then hopefully if we get the go ahead, these pieces will be ready to print and go to their new home. And my thinking with using digital here was I could play like the snake plant, the spider plant's gonna be a little tricksy. All these fine lines in actual watercolor, so the digital might help me out here. And kind of the trial and error that will go with this. Woof! I'm happy you recognize me. I'm good. Tekken was hype yesterday. Playing Tekken 7 with a friend for the first time and also played a few rounds with Dan. Woohoo! He's really strong. Zafina and Yoshimitsu. Oh, sorry, my YouTube chat disconnected and reconnected. Okie dokie. I'm doing well, thank you. How's the creative magic? The creative magic is magicking. I am 10 cards away from being done the tarot deck. At least the art for the tarot deck. There's still much to do. Oh, I did? I said it correctly? Oh, thank goodness. It was a stressful moment there. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. I saw the word and started talking before I could say it. I'm glad I got it. Phew. So there's still much to do for the tarot cards as far as like putting them together, getting them ready for print, getting the books ready, all that kind of stuff. But the art itself might be done relatively soon. Woohoo! Well, I'm glad it's going well. I'm glad Dan's been able to play with you a little bit. Super fun. I enjoyed the stream that I caught last time with him. You both streaming, working on it together. So fun. Oh, thank you. Wishing you a successful continuation of the tarot series. Why, thank you. I am enjoying it. Trying to savor it as the biggest project I have ever done. But also looking forward to other things as well. So yeah. Alrighty. Now, let's get this one maybe? So trying to approach this like I would with actual watercolor. It's obviously not exactly the same, but close. So we can make sure that these will go all together. And then, what color will my fancy cactus be? This one. If you make the noises, it goes better. Yeah, you'll have to reach out to Dan and see how it's going. How the heck he's doing with it all. Okay. Now the tricky thing with the watercolor is making sure you have the right layers selected so that the colors don't all run when you don't want them to. Yes, yes. I'm sure he would love to hear from you. A little bit bigger. Pew, pew, pew. And we're gonna have that one be a white one for sure. Now. For those of you who use Fresco regularly, you'll have noticed that they have updated the user interface. Always great mid-project to be like, okay, I've got like 20 minutes where I can sit and work on the tarot cards, to open an app and find out that nothing is where it was ever before. And that's super frustrating because instead of spending 20 minutes of like, there we go, bot detected, bot squished. So yeah, I popped open Fresco one day and I had literally been working on it hours before, like earlier the day before, and it was different. And let's go. And I opened it and everything is different. Like they moved all the stuff around. If, for those of you who watch the palettes or anything, you'll notice that things are different. I have a few grievances. One being, let me see if this will work. I'm going to pop my OBS up here. If I flip this without turning my iPad on, it's not going to even do it. Okay, well, when you flip, that's weird. It wouldn't even flip my iPad. Okay, when you flip up into a portrait style, all the little icons at the top, oh, there, it did it for a second. Curses. Okay. I won't play around with this. It's just delaying, and I don't want to make you guys throw up. But not all the icons fit, so you have to scroll through them. So I actually was like Googling and trying to find where my ad photos were. So like this icon here, I couldn't find where it was, because that's how I put it on my paper patterns. I'm like, that is a tool I would like to have back, please, but I didn't realize you had to scroll through to find them. And my one biggest frustration is that you can see on the left, the undo button is right next to the home button. So if you're just kind of moving through your motions, and you, instead of clicking undo and you go to home, it closes out your file, and then you've lost the history. So yesterday I was doing I was working on a tarot card, and I accidentally erased part that I didn't want to erase, and I went to go hit undo. It selected home instead, and then I had to like go redo all this stuff because the history was gone. So it wasn't I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish I could move those. As with all things, change does come, and I will make it through. It will be fine. Like I'll get used to it. I'll find where everything is. You just have a rhythm, and now it's gone, and all that kinds of. But this top left is a very risky pile of mess. So, luckily it wasn't too big of what I lost yesterday, but it's a bit of a risky game that I'm not a huge fan of. So, I know Dan mentioned on a stream last week, I think, that some people were really upset about it. I haven't been able to go. I think it was on a Reddit. I think people were really bummed about it. I haven't gone to hunt that down or see what people were saying about it. But it overall a slight inconvenience. Adobe should have given out a heads up that the UI changed or how it changed. Yeah, like I'm not certain that, like, you know, sometimes when you open an app, it'll be like, here's what's new. I might have blown past that. I don't remember it being like a UI change though. Usually it's like a tool or something, and then that's what it is instead of. I feel like I would have stopped and looked at a UI change. But yeah, it would be nice to have like a, hey, this is coming. Or kind of like, you know how sometimes they'll be like, we're changing the UI, do you want to use the old one? which generally I'm like, let's try the new one, but like I'm into a project, like deep into a project. It'd be nice to like be able to use it in the way I'm used to using it. It is what it is. I'll get used to it, but I would like that undo button to be moved. That would be really nice. Because luckily, like I said, mine were kind of low risk changes or missed pieces, but it won't always be the case. So if you're in Fresco or you haven't been in a while and you're going to go in there, just brace for a bit of a change. Don't let it deter you. It's still an excellent app. It's still doing all the things it normally does. Just you gotta find where some of those things are, unfortunately. Oops. So Mafu, I see you've been practicing some of the figure drawing things I've been putting out. Very exciting. Thank you for playing the game. This week, sneak peek, is gesture drawing. Woohoo! Oof. That was a blast from the past when I went back to that. I hadn't done that in a long time and I was extremely rusty. But it was fun to go through and check all those things and try them again. Okay, so I think I'm going to go backwards here and I'm going to... So I did this for real in traditional. I did the pencil crayon first, but I want to do the marker instead first. And I'm going to do the medium jitter because I don't want this to be too straight of a line. I want it to have that kind of hand-drawn feel like these guys do. Some of the pens that I was using weren't kind of like super flowing ink. So I want to make sure that we're kind of a similar look here. I think I need to be a little bit bigger. Yes, I had them in very helpful, excellent. And some felt familiar. Okay, excellent. Thank you for your hard work in hosting the figure drawing series. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying them. I know it's fun to go back to these kinds of things and all that. If there's anything anybody else like, I'm going to come up with the next series 2 months from now. So if anybody has an idea or has something they want to learn, let me know. I'll put it in the lineup. Does that look right? Yeah, I think we'll be fine. You really are. Oh, yay! I'm glad. I'm glad. Always fun. Looking forward to what the popular demand will be. What will people want to see? I know, I mostly just kind of want people to find that art is pretty accessible. I think there's an intimidation factor. They'll watch people like Dan or Odari or anybody doing any kind of arts, even Antoine with his music or anything, and it can be really intimidating when you're looking at someone who's really skilled in what they're doing, and even Mafu with your gaming and with your art that you would share and all that kind of stuff. Everybody has their own talents, but I think it can be intimidating to those who haven't quite practiced. So and it's not as challenging as it feels, as it seems, if you practice a little bit. So that's what my goal is with these, is to kind of like make things a little accessible so people aren't intimidated by art, because it's just needs a little practice, really. Anyone can catch up. They just need the courage to start somewhere. I love that so much. Yes, you just need to try just a little bit. Take some practice. Don't be intimidated by it. We're all here to work together. how are we doing? Okay. Remember, you're just in the middle, Erin. Don't throw it out yet. Don't give up, everyone. Listen to Mafu. Words of wisdom. And see, digital, I can do this, which I can't do with my permanent marker. I have no doubt I could have done this spider plant in traditional ways, but I felt digital was going to get us the result I'm looking for. If anyone wishes to start character art or pick up Tekken 8 and play Jin or Devil Jin, I'll be more than happy to help too. That is a call to anybody watching who wants to participate in those things. Follow Mafu. Ask the questions. Learn the things. Whoops. That wasn't even close to what I wanted to do. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, pickles. We've all got to work together and collaborate. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to learn. Oh, yes, and Erin Senpai as well. She's a wonderful art mentor. Thank you. I just want everybody... Art brings me a lot of balance and happiness and a lot of good things for me. And I just want people to be able to find that thing for them. If they find out it's not art, that's okay. Or art like I do, that's okay. But I want to try and help them find the thing, because the world is a heavy place, especially lately, and we need our outlets to work together. And I'm here to support. This one, and this one, and this one. Sure. We need all the music and the arts and all those fun things. Again, trying to follow what I did with the traditional pieces, in that, like, this doesn't have to be perfect. Some white sticking out is okay. I know we're going to fill some of these spaces with the pencil crayon in a minute. I know we're going to fill, like, some of the parts can get erased. I think we're just going to put a lot of it to work, so I'm not losing a lot of sleep over the fact that these aren't exactly perfect, because that was kind of the intent style wise. Boop. I hope those you teach also find comfort in art too. Me too. Thank you. So what else is new, Mafu? Anything exciting even outside of the Tekken universe, or is it all Tekken things right now? It's okay if it is. Oops. Oh dear. Tiny space. Try again. Whoops. Here we go. All right. Let's save. It's another thing with the change here. All my like file name and save now are hidden under the options menu here. Totally fine. It's just I don't have that little, before there's that like the name at the top with the little asterisk that told me I hadn't saved. There's no little cheeky reminder that, hey, you haven't been saving. So again, all part of getting used to it. Like I remember years ago when Facebook first came out, they would change the user interface on it, and everybody would get so mad, and they'd be like, change it back, put it back. And then we'd all get used to it, we'd move on, and it's okay. Like, we'll get used to change, but just sometimes I just want to open the thing and it be the same. I don't want to figure it all out. Oh, I get rid of this and this and this. Again, something I can't do with traditional, although I wouldn't have drawn it like this if it was in traditional, so. Okay, and then we'll do this guy. People have been doing the same complaints with this Instagram too, yeah. Like I understand like when they're upset about like things like the algorithm and things about how the app actually functions, like in the background. I see there being problems with that kind of stuff because it's like, especially for small businesses or people who are trying to access people instead of just sharing their own art, like sharing their own just personal stuff. And so like for people who are trying to like figure out the algorithm for business reasons, etc., I understand that kind of frustration because like, especially small business owners, there's only like so many hours in a day and they're already doing things like to figure this out, and it takes a lot of time and it's a lot of energy to figure out what the heck the new changes are. So I get that, but it's like sometimes it's just like, this is a small change, so let's not figure it out. Instagram has been getting too far recently. You know, it's challenging. I know like the algorithm, there's all these notes on the algorithm and all these other kinds of things. I've been like a really bad Instagrammer lately. Like I kind of like put my stuff up and then I'll quickly look at what everybody else is up to and then kind of go away. I'm not on it every day, which is to a degree good, but I think also a degree of I should probably interact with some of my followers a little bit more, but that's, who knows, maybe the algorithm doesn't want that anymore, who knows. But yeah, for those trying to use it like for business and stuff, I understand the frustration because it's a lot. The features in the UI keep changing too. Yeah, it's hard to, when you're like, every time you go in to do something, it changes. And then for a little while, I felt really forced into using edits to make my reels and stuff, which again was frustrating. I kind of went in for a tarot week to be like, normally I had a rhythm, be like, put in, substitute these photos, substitute these, go and put it out into the world, and then I had to like relearn an app to kind of figure out what was going on. But then I had a bunch of stuff saved in edits, and it crashed and deleted it all. So I deleted edits. I'm like, I will find another way. It's like, I know things can't always stay the same, and things can't always be predictable, and like they have to update for different uses and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I just want to open an app and use it as intended or as I would expect and get on with my day. One has many other things to do. The social media part is just part of that. I have things to do, man. Yeah, luckily it was mostly just like the tarot social media templates that I had, because it was just like if you follow the tarot cards, a lot of them are very similar because I'm trying to brand the deck. So it's the first launch is always kind of the same thing, so I could just kind of substitute the photos, and I can change the music, and I can update the what's in there. So I lost that, unfortunately, but I was able to remake it in Instagram again, thank goodness, and find another way to do it. But yeah, like there were people online, like I was looking up to see like what was happening, whether I had to update my app or if there's a way to recover it or whatever. But there were people on there who had lost it. Like I was posting a photo or like exporting to Instagram, and it froze and glitched out and like crashed my whole phone actually. Luckily it just affected the edits app in the end. I didn't lose anything else as far as I've been able to see. But there were people on there who have like are full businesses about social media and stuff, and this has happened to them, and they've lost all of their content, which is extremely, extremely intense for someone who like where that's their full business. So yeah, wasn't super stoked about that, but luckily my loss wasn't huge. It was more of an inconvenience. I just want to post the things so I can go make more things so I can post about them later. That's all I want. I just want to make the art. Someone else can post for me. If you make the noises, that helps make the art. Okay, dokie, artichoke. Let's hit save. Hydrate a touch. Okay. Now, under this, we'll start. Just start with a normal brush, layer style, as opposed to multiply or anything just yet. Excellent. So it was I think I've mentioned this before, a very delayed reaction on my part that I could use the pencil brush in Fresco as a pencil crayon. I use the pencil all the time because it's like when you open a Fresco template, like a blank file, it will start like your first brush will be the pencil brush. I'm sure you could change that in the settings, but generally I'm going to be starting with a sketch anyway, so I just have left it that way. Excuse me. So I'd always use a pencil. It starts as a black pencil. And so I was like, okay, well, that's just using it that way. And then it occurred to me when I was doing the gnomes, I was like, wait a second. If I put color on this, it'd be like a pencil crayon. It'd be like I'm coloring with pencil crayons. So things that should be obvious. And they weren't. But we figured it out. We got there in the end. It's okay. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oops. I'm probably going to keep some of these sketch lines too, because that's what I did with the original piece, because everything was done on one page. So I'll probably keep some sketch lines, but I'll probably clean a few of them up because I added a few extras that might not always normally be there. And especially with this spider plant, it might be a little, oh, come on, you. Busy if I keep all those sketch lines. Thinking that we're missing some people in the chat, but I think today's a holiday in the Americas, so everybody's probably going to fireworks or something, just like I was on a holiday last week. But we have an excellent chat underway right here. Not to worry. What am I looking at here? Okay, like this. Okay, and then let's do this. I don't think that's quite the right color. I'm just looking. I actually have my spider plant here as a reference. Hanging in my window here. Okay. Spider plants are actually a plant I can grow. Weird. I was reluctant to get a spider plant for a while because I've always had people around me like, do you wanna, I have lots of like spider plant babies if you want some. So I was worried I was gonna get myself into something that was gonna have lots and lots of take over my house, like the little, like these little guys here. They're little spider babies, so you can grow those and propagate them and plant them into new plants and stuff. So I was worried I was going to get something that was going to take over my house, but luckily they're not too bad. My Monstera is taking over my house. It's my other roommate. Me and Mojo and this Monstera. She's a beast. Each leaf is like twice as big as the last one. Where's my... Oh. Has to be a vector brush. No, I want this one. Didn't have to be? Yeah, it probably does. Okay. Recent. This one. There. That's all I wanted. Now recent. I also like working a little bit bigger on this because I think at the small size that the others were developed in, those little tiny watercolor papers, I think something like this, the spider plant, the long thin leaves would be very challenging to detail out at that small size, and then be able to blow it up nice and big here for the bigger size it has to be. Look at that depth that's coming out. Freaking living. Oops. No erasing, please. See, don't give up. Keep working on it. Oh, Macho must be a sleepy guy. There's people in the hallway and he's not barking at them. It's weird. Okay. Then maybe this guy now. Yeah, okay. So we need some of the bluer green so that it's similar to what we have for the rest of the plants. That level of contrast. Yeah. Okay, and then let's do this. Pencil, please. Oh, no, that's not what oh dear, what is happening? I want this one, and I want it like this. There we go. Spiky, spiky. It's funny, I'm fighting the tarot instincts a little bit here. Like, I'm gonna have these big thick lines on top, and then I'm gonna put all these other things around it. Like, no, no, this is a different style. No. Okay, and then if I switch to this, and we'll go back to the flower. There we go. Fill in some of that space there. There we go. Erase, erase. Yikes. So iPad's so pixelated on no, all of that. Oh no, it sorted itself out. Okay. Sheesh. Okay. Coming through, yo. Where's my sketch? Oh. All of these are to together. Oh, that's why. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, now let's go back to our pencil. And we will do this one. Not that one. Let's do maybe just darker. No. How about this one? But darker. There we go. Now kids in the hall. Incoming Mojo Meltdown. There's no Mojo Meltdown. Yikes. He's doing such good learnings. We've been working really hard on our yelling at the neighbors in the hall. The neighbors have been spending a lot of time in the hall. So we had to spend a lot of time figuring out how to deal with that. He's doing such good learnings. I'm so proud of him. Okay, now we go to the darker one. Nope. Still no one had that one, Erin. This one? Okay, that's fine. Oh yeah, killing it. The thing with being able to zoom in is that you zoom in, you lose focus of the bigger picture. So always zoom back out. If you have an art piece that you're working on, always take a step back or zoom back out if you're doing digital. Otherwise you get really focused in and it's not coming together. It doesn't look like the way it should. Oh no, it looks great. Never mind. It's like a baby Grogu. Grogu the cactus. Mandalorian. Oh, pickles. Just erased that poor cactus's spike. Okay, bro. Here we go. Now, let's get a little bit of color on. Perfect, perfect. I think each of the pots are shaded this way, yes. So can I actually... This one its own layer, one so it can go in behind everything else, but also so that I don't have to be too careful. It's easier to erase bits out. Now with the Apple Pencil and these pencil crayons, let's say, like right now I'm using kind of the edge of my pencil to fill this, but if I were to kind of go put like perpendicular to the screen, you get that sharper edge. So the dynamics are pretty awesome that way. Just want to zoom out and make sure I get similar effects here. So if you're able to afford an Apple Pencil to go with your iPad, it's a costly tool, so it's okay if you can't. There's lots of stylus tools out there. I have other ones that I use for my iPad as well that I've received for Christmas and from family in the past that work really well. But this added dynamic is pretty neat if you're able to save a few bucks in these crazy expensive days. It's a great tool, but there's lots out there. You don't necessarily need the top of all the tools. But there's some neat factors here. I'll never not recommend one of these. Okay, and then we have a darker, this one, to go here. Did that actually do what I wanted it to do? Oh, it did. Just a little purplier than I would like. What's this one? If we do, this is the color that I wanted. Yeah, that's a little more better. That's more better. And then we'll do a little bit darker here. Smooth palette here, indicating a very smooth pot. Okay, and then I want to duplicate, that's a lie, it's photos. Can I put this out here? It's going to make a mess. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to duplicate this group of sketches, duplicate the layer group, merge layers in group. So what I want to do is just keep the sketch, just in case my friends come back and say, hey, we want to change X, Y, or Z. That way I have the sketch line, so I'm going to hide those away for now. But on this merge layer, I'm going to take an opportunity to just erase some of these sketch lines, just to pull things back a little bit, like I had kind of an imitation of a, I was going to potentially have it hanging, but I didn't know what it was going to be hanging from, so I got rid of that line. Pull back a few sketches here and there, just to bring things together a touch. Clean up a few, because I always like how a sketch line comes together. I always like how the life it gives to a piece. So although, like I said, I'm loving the tarot cards, loving that style, loving how like my dragon and my kraken and things have come out in the past, really enjoying that kind of stuff. I do like having pieces that have the sketch still in them as well. It gives a lot of life. There's an artist, his name's Bruce Morser, and he does a lot of art for things like National Geographic, etc. But he came to my school and did a talk when I was there, and he does a lot of technical illustration, but will leave sketch lines in his pieces. He has a very like sketchy style. Like it won't necessarily be sketch lines, but it'll be like overdrawn lines for perspective and stuff, giving it a very hand-drawn feel. I think there's an element of digital sometimes in the end and that kind of stuff, but it really gives it a good hand-drawn feel. So I use that inspiration to have the sketch lines stay in some of my pieces, just to give it that energy that it wouldn't have with too many solid lines in it. Like some pieces, they want to be neat. Some pieces benefit from it. Like I think if the tarot cards, the final size that they're going to be, if I left a lot of sketch lines in, they'd be hard to read. It just doesn't lend to that style. That's just, it's not me giving them the cards a hard time. It's more of I think that what they need is something different. But I think pieces where you can keep the sketch lines in, that's super fun. Okay, can we save first? And then I'm gonna pop open just on my screen. I just want to pop the plants open and make sure I have, because these really have like a good grit to them. I'm just popping open in Photoshop on my personal screen to see what it looks like. Since we played around with it 2 weeks ago. Photoshop, knock it off. What if I did favorites? We're still running here, right? Uh-oh. Did we lose it? Hey, OBS, play the game. Are we still here? Okay. Okay, it's still working. Sheesh. That was weird. Okay, only a few more minutes anyway. That's not what I want. Yes. Absolutely not. Do we... Oh, sorry. Me and the tech are having a moment. I don't know why, but I feel like this kind of works a little bit. Gives it a bit of texture, and then if I bring it down, oof. So that actually works like pretty well in giving it a texture that it didn't have before. Ooh, intriguing. Okay, so if I do that in comparison, not too bad. And then what I think I also might do is select multiple, this, and pull them down to like an 80. There we go. Undo, redo. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Okay. And then maybe then this can go back up. Interesting. Okay. So that gives it a little bit of a texture, which I wasn't expecting, without it being on a grainy paper. But gives it that kind of grainy look. I wonder if I put, oh, this isn't gonna work out here, but what if I do, no, this one. What if we were to do something similar? Oh, pickles. I could do like a speckle something over top, making them a little more uniform, which is interesting. And I probably should, now how am I going to do that without merging them? I think I should have, I mean, I think I originally did, and then I adjusted it. I should have some of, not that big, I don't think. Just a little smaller one. Okay. I just want to have this interact with the flowers below a little bit more so they're not separated. Okay, and then pencil crayon. Wish the recent would stay near recent. That would be nice. Okay. Something messy's happening with my restream here. And then we'll do this. And then we'll do black. Oops, let's try that one again. Oops, again. Something screwy is happening here. Okay. All right. So let's hit save here. Let's see what we've got going on. And I'm gonna send this right to my, oh dear, something is askew. What is happening here? Phew. Yikes, zoom out chaos. Okay. Save. Quick export to my computer. All right, so I'm gonna play around with this, finalize these pieces. I'm sure I'll be able to put them up online a little bit later once they're done, but I'm hoping to finish these this week, to be perfectly honest. Get them all wrapped up and ready to go. So yeah, we got a lot done today. I'm pretty stoked that that's kind of wrapped up there. So thank you to everybody for staying around. I hope you're still there. It looks like my stream glitched out a tiny little bit there. I'm not really sure what happened. But I'm glad that you were all here. I'm glad that whoever was here was hanging out, and that we were all able to, are we all still here? that we were all able to stream together and hang out for a little bit. I appreciate you guys hanging out and spending some of your Monday with me. Thank you to Mafu and Antoine for being in the Twitch chat, and to everybody who was lurking and chilling. I appreciate that as well. I hope you all have a fabulous week, and I will be back next week with something else. Hope you have a great week, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.